Ja, Rastafari. In this hour, I now ask Bongo Shephan to speak on the historical review of Rastafari uprising from the hour of Leonard Howell unto this time. Ja, Rastafari.
Blessed and holy be the majesty, conqueror Haile Selassie, who crowned King of Kings and Lord of Lords 1930. As from the coronation of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords 1930, 1 year after, there was a man named Sir Leonard Howell, and he bring the Ethiopian emblem and the word of Rastafari to Jamaica. Well, his presence in Jamaica upset the Jamaica government and people. That this man was a madman and him come to overthrow government and him come to create all the kind of mayhem in the island of Jamaica. For such cause, he was ridiculed, scorned, scourged, sent to prison till he was sent to even asylum. As from 1931, the word of Rastafari started spreading in the island of Jamaica. We, the Rasta people, who uphold such word, we have gone through the very same problem with the Jamaica government and system and the society. Now I, Bongo Shephan, we're talking to you from in the 50s, 1955, I come to this feat. That is about actually 35 years after Howell present Rastafari faith to Jamaica. And I have gone through a lot of tribulation, trials and crosses from the system of Jamaica, which is the government and the society. Because I ever talk to you, man, it's more one time I get beaten from police, just like what them Leonard Howell. I was being arrested, 36 of us, in a place we call named Guy's Hill. We go to an Airbnb there. And when we realized to myself in the height of the evening, rain fall in the place, muddy, and all them things, it's all I can hear around the houses. Don't move and watch it, not it. Police, come out of the house. And when we come out of the house and come out of the mud, then call we hag. Some we must hag, must hag to be in these kind of a mud in this place. And then line we up and carry out to the street and strip off with clothes. Every Rasta man pants tear off him by police. And when they finish doing that, the line will be in a driving jeep and we have to run follow that driving jeep for 1 mile to the station. And when we reach the police station, remember, the line will up against the wall and they start to beat us in our stomach with the baton. They beat us till the one time the baton broke. And the policeman go for a piece of iron. And he beat us at all. I man feel like say, well, then I man going to perish the way the some liquid I get. To establish the faith of Rastafari, it wasn't for no criminal activity, it was just to establish the liberation movements and faith of Haile Selassie to the world. They take us from there, they take us to detention camp. They detain us for over 3 days. When they were about to let us go, I, Bongo Shephan, said these words to the combination of police and to the brigadier of the army. That, sir, the very way that I was brought here is the same way that 150 men over there was brought here. So if I am going, if you are letting me go, I believe you should let go all these people. And the brigadier turned to the combination of police and said to him, so you know he's right. And they go away, come back, and let out the 150 man give us the Rasta man. When we come out of the yard, we stand up as usual. So we go and lift up with eyes onto the hills. We go and pray before we left out of the yard. And world, remember, from we pray and done pray and look round, the 150 man where we take away from Babylon, everyone run left us in the camp yard.
Yeah.
When we look on only pure Rasta man left in the camp yard. Anyway, that is one saga. The following year, we go to St. Thomas to keep an Airbnb. The same thing happened again. Airbnb was raided by police. 27 of us was taken away, taken to jail. Some charged ganja, some was being detained. I, Bongo Shephan, spent 8 days in a Morant Bay jail under detention order, which that was a gross injustice because detention order in Jamaica was only 24 hours and they let you go. And they hold me for 8 long days. The way that I come out of the detention, out of the jail, is a policeman who know me. So that, Bongo Shephan, you're not supposed to, you're supposed to be on the street to keep the peace. Because I know you as a peaceful and an upright man and a true citizen of this country. So I want to know what them say you do. I turn to him and say to him, say, them say detain me, you know. He say, all right, I soon come, and him go back down to the guard room. And there was a quarrel down there between him and the police them. Okay. And then when I realized, I hear him come back and Bongo and say, Bongo Shephan, them say you charge the ganja. And I turned to him and said to him, say, no, they're telling a lie. Because if I did charge ganja, they would have taken me to court and examination. Wednesday gone. He said, damn right. And he returned back down there. Another contention again between him and police. See me. Until I see him come out with him bat in hand and 2 more police. Take out a man out of one next cell. Come on my cell and take out me and carry down to the guard room. And mark out my name out of the book. Call up all the police them in the Morant Bay jail and said, this man is a true citizen of the island of Jamaica. So I'm going to put him on the street and he must be unmolested by you policemen in here as long as he's in Morant Bay. You see, put me through the door, come out the street, me and a gunman, then let go. It was about 8 o'clock at night. So me turned to the gunman and said to him, say, which way you go now, man? He said, I go down a river gully. He said, anyway you go tonight, I go with you. He said, no, Bongo Shephan, you can't come with me because you see like, then let me out and let out you with me. Anyway we go tonight, then we go follow you and watch you, you know. He said, don't worry yourself, man. You know, you're the policeman tell the rest of the police and say, me a true citizen of the island of Jamaica, man. And me supposed to street to keep the peace. That me say, anyway, me then enough to come there. True. Yeah? You know, you're the policeman tell the police them that. He say, yes. Me say, all right, go on, man, lead the way, man. Me go down to your yard tonight. And me and him lead the way and we go down to his yard. And he call up him friend and say him bring a friend with him. When the friend come, the friend said to him, say, go look up, you see some herb. And looking at the corner, you see some herb pipe. And bring the pot, come, we'll cook. And we stay there for the whole night. Cook and eat and burn herb and no police no come molest we. In the morning early I rise up and went back. Here. So, world, know thou this. That I and the Rasta man, not this Western Hemisphere, we say you go through hell and powder house to survive and to establish the true loving faith of Haile Selassie Jah, Rastafari. Outside of such, there is no other savior. Because the man or the woman who no have no testimony, he didn't go through no tribulation, and if you don't go through no tribulation, you can't tell nobody nothing about Rasta. You have to suffer. True. You understand what I mean? That you can make a proclamation or a declaration or a testimony. So these people who are running up and down around the world today, proclaim Rasta, who never go through no tribulation, be aware. Be careful. Because there are many impostors out there. There are many wolves in sheep clothing. Who are police never even tell him walk fast. Yet him go to the street and proclaim that him have power to lead and rule. And nobody never even tell him saying I read that he could have defended himself. True. So brethren and sisters, let us know the real Rastafari different from the impostor them these days. Because many man have on locks and beard, but locks and beard really don't make you be a real Rastafari. So we give thanks for the little portion that we can put together.
Rastafari. Yeah, Rastafari.
Yes, blessed be Jah, Rastafari. Now, when I was a little youth, about 15-year-old, walk out of my mother and my father home, the sake of Rastafari. You know? The sake of Rastafari. And when I come to City Kingston, I come see a group of people in City Kingston and carry Rastafari faith, which was the Nyabingi people. But during the years and the Rastafari faith evolved from one level to the other. You had different mansions of Rastafari people that emerged, that emerged out of the Nyabingi house. Because there is no mansion in this island of Jamaica or in the world where can't tell me that him not coming from the fullness of the Nyabingi. It caused a lot of controversy and confusion during the years between Bongo Shanti, 12 Tribe, Orthodox, and many other organizations that sprung up from them time to this time that use the name Rastafari. So one of the time we the Nyabingi people get together and say so as to incorporate all these mansions together with one voice, we decide to launch a centralization program to centralize all the organization under one umbrella, that when we speak, we could speak to the world with one voice. Now, all these mansions that I call them names and others attend a lot of these meetings that we did have. And it go on to a time that we did call a conference at Green Bottom, Clarendon, which was the Henry place. And we did get a few mansions to sign up to the centralization program. And out of that conference, an organization born named the Rastafari Centralization Organ, RCO. Coming on during the years, the RCO exists but wasn't effective, because the RCO was an organization work was to gather all the Rasta people throughout the world and get them to acknowledge and realize that we should not speak again in several different voices to have power. We should not speak in a one tongue and one voice. But it never worked out that way until the president for the RCO perished. Now the RCO is like it defunct, because we are hearing nothing more about that. But brethren and sisters in the universe, try remember this, that outside of the foundation, which is the root, the branches to the tree belong to the tree. I say this to say this, that I come know Nyabingi as the root of the faith of Rastafari for so many years. And all the rest of organizations that I do call them name and others, they become the branches of the Nyabingi house. So, today I'm inviting all organizations to pay attention to the development and the liberation of the Rastafari people throughout the universe, universally. Because the day is coming when we won't have these holy organizations no more. Every man will be speaking under one voice, because regardless which organization you belong to, Haile Selassie High, Jah Rastafari is the main object and the main goal, because every organization use Haile Selassie High as them forerunner, or as them God and then king, or some say just pure king. Yes, we as the foundation, we uphold this faith and this knowledge that it covers the whole universe. So as I say again, the day is coming when all people have to come under one banner to pray to the one man, Haile Selassie, which is the foundation of the faith Rastafari, regardless which organization you want to belong to, whether you are EWF, whether you are 12 Tribe, whether you are Bongo, you understand what I mean, or whether you are Ashanti, or whatever organization you belong to. Remember, we do have no animosity towards no organization as the Nyabingi people. For one reason, all you organizations out there is our children. And I as a father could not ridicule my child that he would have to go against me or speak harshly or grievously against my administration. So brothers and sisters, make we put aside the little differences to organization and come to have the knowledge that we have to come in one, speak in one for the redemption are the people of the black people of this universe who is scattered all over the universe. Because it is solely on our shoulders and our responsibility to see to it that the redeeming Iowa of Haile Selassie being fulfilled from Cape to Cairo, from River Nile to Timbuktu. Blessed love, Rastafari.
Yeah.
What I am saying, it's not so much of a tall speech, but I believe the few things that I do say within the fullness can have some kind of an effect and some kind of an upliftment and education to a lot of people throughout the world. Give thanks, Rastafari.
Yeah, Rastafari. This moment I now will ask Bongo Shephan to speak on the levity of Rastafari.
Blessed be Jah. Yes, blessed be Jah, Rastafari. Now Rastafari is a levity, you know, and a life of living. That means there are a special code of conduct of your movement, your sayings and your doings. In the universe, in your district, among your people, among your friends and family. No, Rastafari is not an organization and it's not a religion. It's a life of living. That are a tradition. That is to say that we the Rasta people, there are many things that the people out of the world do and say where we not say and we not do. For one reason, I don't know if you know that Rasta man, but for me, Bongo Shephan say, it's a great change since I was born. Because the things that I used to do, I do them no more. The things I used to say, I say them no more. The places I used to go, I go there no more. It's a great change since I was born. We change the very food our parents grew upon. The proof says a levity. Because we bring forth a levity of food in the world where we call ital. And remember, Rasta not even promote ital none like the outside world, like the white world and the other world. Because everywhere you go, you have one little ital restaurant set up, which is a part of Rastafari levity in your eating habit. You understand what I mean? Where people gravitate to know because they find their health.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to clothes, according to I movement and levity, if you check the Rasta man, you notice that he dress much different from the people out there. Because anyway you meet him, if you have one little piece of red, gold and green, you can't clothes you have a wear, one little piece of red, gold and green tie on him. And something about the emperor print on his shirt or his pants or whatever. That means that he must make a stipulation that he exempt himself from the people because we are a separate set of people according to our life and living.
Yeah, Rastafari. At this moment, we'll ask Bongo Shephan to speak on the responsibility of the Nyabingi priest.
Yes, give thanks, Rastafari, live and reign forever. He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, the head full fish of the Rastafari faith and doctrine. Priesthood order, according to the declaration of spirituality. The ancient Nyabingi order, generally in every tabernacle have a priest to administrate the priesthood order of the faith of Rastafari. No such priests have a great responsibility. His responsibility is so huge and enormous that sometimes he doesn't know himself. He can become confused because everyone is looking to him for guidance within the congregation spiritually. Whenever Nyabingi is being called, the firelighting ceremony is the responsibilities upon that priest to gather his entourage or his brethren or his priests around him to light such fire. The priest is to see to it that 7 psalms chant around that fire altar before the fire is lit. From that altar and the fire lighting, we move to the tabernacle in chant and in prayer. That priest is responsible for the congregation within such administration that no other brethren or brethren have no power to overrule that individual priest at that specific moment, because it's in the throne of the Almighty, administrating that which the Almighty had put him there to do. Now that priests have the responsibility, the family of Rastafari, both spiritually, culturally, and I would even say materially, within certain knowledge, because the material entity is rests upon another entity within the Rastafari faith to provide such material. The priest is only to deal with the spiritual administration at that specific time of another being the other. Blessing of children, young babies, that priest is responsible to see to it that all the children that born and grow in the Rastafari and being house is blessed according to the righteous order of the Nyabingi order. That priest is responsible to see to it that the congregation remain in its full spiritual quality. That priest is responsible to see to it that no war, no strife, or no mischief take place within such a congregation within those times. That priest is responsible to see to it that wherever another being is going to call, that the place is fully accommodated for the brethren and the sisters that's supposed to attend that Nyabingi order. That priest is fully responsible to see to it that the persons or people that is going to administrate such Nyabingi order is living a perfect and a upright and a clean livity. That priest is also responsible to connect all the churches or the congregation within the circles of his domain together in one order and in one knowledge and one segment. That priest is also responsible to see to it that the ancient or the age that is in the congregation be properly taken care of, so as to fulfill the creed that he chants around the altar. I pray that the hungry be fed, the naked clothed, the sick nourished, the aged protected, and the infant cared for. That priest is responsible. That priest is responsible to see to it that this Nyabingi that is called for 7 days or whatever, you understand what I mean, run within the similitude and the order of the prophetical fullness of Haile Selassie Jah Rastafari. Outside of these things that I say, here is out of the question. The priest is so responsible that he become the spiritual leader of the whole complete segment of the Rastafari faith in his domain. Now in other parts of the world, where there are other congregations and other Rasta people, where they are being found, priests is needing there to guide that spiritual part of the congregation. So, in every congregation, we need even one priest until we can have 7, because the real preceptical order around the altar of the Most High is 7 priests to represent the 7 burning candlesticks, you see, around the altar of His Majesty. For such cause that no one individual brethren don't have no definitely autonomy over the congregation. Anything wrong, that individual high priest in that congregation is to consult with him 7 priests, and the 2 of them sit down and bring anything that is out of order to a proper order and a proper solution, that where there will be no animosity, no contention, no strife, no mischief, no error. Because where there is error, there is violence. So the priest is responsible for all of these benevolent prayer I tell you about. Besides what I mean. And any priest that you can find that can control the congregation in that manner, remember, he's on his way to the fullness of righteousness. Rastafari.
Yeah. Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. Give thanks and praise for the Iowa, this blessed moment. Give thanks and praise for the ice which is falling. And at this moment we'll ask Congo Shephan to speak on Rastafari global unification. Jah, Rastafari.
Blessed be Jah, Rastafari. Give thanks and praise to him that created, blessed and holy. Haile Selassie I, King of kings and Lords of lords, conquer the land of the tribe of Judah, the left of himself and the right of this universe. While divine majesty conqueror Haile Selassie I will cover the universe. The rift staff, the most wise and is visible, Almighty. Global unification is a very ticklish and controversial topic to deal with. But seeing that there is nothing too hard or too controversial that I and I, the ancient Rastaman, cannot deal with and bring it to order. Now in this universe of I and I, we have Rasta people in every crevice and corner of the world who is still waiting to receive that guidance from the headful faith of the ancient council. Now within such unification is that if the Nyabingi house in Jamaica have a diocese that run the Jamaica house, I believe that is the very same diocese supposed to run the universe. Whenever I and I, as the ancient Rastaman, is proposing any administration like celebrations and etc., the same thing that is being done in Jamaica should be done in every part of the world.
Sure.
Every continent, towns and cities of this universe where Nyabingi Rasta people is, a tabernacle should be set up there and a council set up within that tabernacle to communicate with the ancients of Jamaica, which is the foundation and the root of this faith. Now, for instance, when we check even the Roman Catholic people, you notice if Rome have a mass in a Vatican city, in every city in the world that you have Roman Catholic people, them have a mass at the same hour, the same day, the same time, and saying the same thing one towards another. So within the fullness of the Nyabingi ancient council, Rastafari, I and I supposed to have our church and our administration set up the very same way. That wherever Rasta is being found, we are not being contrary one towards another, is that whatever we the ancient Nyabingi people in Jamaica propose, every Rastafari and Nyabingi house in the world supposed to do the same thing. Because the truth about it is I and I, the ancient Nyabingi people, who are traveling from 60, 50, 55 years, 40 years, and all them numbers of years, is we the root and the foundation of this faith. So, we are not looking for no other person or people to propose no administration outside of the guidelines and the code of conduct that we do set for the Rastafari and Nyabingi house. So any people out there today that is having any other sideline pertaining to the Nyabingi order, it is to be disqualified. That the organization of the Rastafari faith through the Nyabingi house can be in one accord. That when you go to England and talk to a man in England, the same thing you get from him in England, you come to Jamaica, you get the same thing. You go to South Africa, you get the same thing. You go to Canada, you get the same thing. You go to United States, you get the same thing. Outside of such administration will be a contrary set of people, and we don't need that now because the world needs us. Haile Selassie, Jah, Rastafari.
Jah, Rastafari. Once again, we ask Congo Shephan to speak on the whole of sacrament that Rastafari use. Give thanks.
Blessed Rastafari. Yes, the herb, which we all suffered for in some very little funny ways in the world, through society and people. But you know, the herb, you know, is a spiritual herb, you know. And for such that it become our spiritual sacrament in our congregation. Yeah. It is being used within the Nyabing yard as the uplifting of the spirit of praises unto the Most High. Now, the herb become the healing of the nation. But right now, as a sacrament to a church, as it become a commercial entity, where people use it to get rich. And when they get rich, the man who suffer for it, man like me will go to prison for it. You understand what I mean? And get beaten for it again. You understand? Don't get no redress and no compensation out of the people who use herb for commercial purposes. Now, within Nyabingi tabernacle, herb is used on the altar as a communion within the tabernacle. Because we'd have that chalice. That chalice is being lowered. One man bless it, and it go right round in a circle with the brethren, them that seated within that communion circle at that time. Communion is practiced for everyone in the congregation, you know. But at certain times there's only certain amount of one that's seated within communion. If you should notice, even in Nyabing yard right now, you will find 3 ancient brethren that's seated within communion all the while. In the church. Like I, Bongo Ken, Bongo Tan. You notice the chalice where I run, a big chalice where I run under what we call the steam, and you find the three away, reason and laugh and talk with one another and burn that chalice round. Now I pray Jah that for this scientific cup of wisdom, which is the herb, pray that it fill us in the spirit of truth, spirit of free man, power to overstand and to do I will through the sake of our great, mighty, thunderable and praiseworthy name, Jah Rastafari. Outside of such an administration, I believe the herb is being abused. I have said it already in a conference, and I will say it again, that the herb is solely for communion, like the Roman Catholic use the sacrament of wine and bread for his communion. That's the very way that we Rasta use the herb. Because the herb is the building of the moral and the spirit at that time to communicate and talk with the Almighty, Jah Rastafari. Blessed be Jah. That few words from the herb. You know?
Yes, sir.